so then I just came early.
You're in my second.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Okay. No. Do you like this place better?
Yes.
The seats are more comfortable.
And there's sunshine.
You see that? In our other classroom, we're in the basement, and we're like this, right? So we're cozy, right? Because we're a good bunch. Anyway, I'm very, very excited. We've been preparing this for a little bit. And I'm excited that you get to see Moshe. But let me read a little bit about him, because when I actually learned about Moshe, I saw him on Fox 5 News. And it talked about an alternative treatment or alternative way of working with children with ADHD. And so you know my son, right? He has ADHD. And so I focused on it. And so I called him and contacted him, and he was very, very gracious and very generous with his time and just with his knowledge. And so we were able to connect, and so I'm so glad. You guys are so blessed to have him here. And so I'm blessed to even be here as well. But let me share some of his story. For 20 years, Moshe Elbaum has been working with children and adults around the world, successfully helping them to overcome learning and functional difficulties. In a recent issue of Different Lives, the most prestigious health magazine in Israel, the Elbaum method was listed as one of the 100 milestones in the history of alternative health. What makes the method so effective and powerful is that it comes out of Moshe's personal experience as a child with learning difficulties, who developed techniques to overcome his disabilities. A leader in his field, a popular lecturer and teacher, and a published author, Moshe was not able to read until he was an adult. He was born with a condition that today would be considered severe dyslexia. School was a nightmare. He was punished continuously for his inability to learn to read and spend hours standing in the corner of his classroom. Poor coordination and severe asthma led to social isolation. During breaks and after school, he watched his peers play together, knowing he would never be able to take part in their games. His early education was an endless round of humiliation and helplessness, and Moshe quit school after the 10th grade. So I want to leave you with that, because his story is just extraordinary. And so we're very excited. So I want to present Moshe Elbaum.
Maybe I'm trying to escape from my history. But it's impossible, you know. Something that we take with us wherever we go. I hope that I will not do too many mistakes in English today, but if I'm doing, if you don't understand something, just ask, okay? Because sometimes I talk in my own way. I never studied English in my life, so I'm doing my best. Before I begin, you have to know that I'm extremely happy to be here and to give my share in your education, and if it's going to be helpful in any way, okay? So this is my blessing, not on yours. And thank you very much for trying to help others and to being on the way to trying to help others. Because as I saw until now, wherever I go, there is no family, there is no at least one person that need help.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna be very good in that field, you have to know that you're always gonna have work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because so many people need help, so many people. The most, I think, extraordinary encounter that I got in a school was in Romania. I evaluated a full school, all the school, 197 students, okay? 190 needed help, which means that even though they've been good students, part of them, okay, they've been with a very deep difficulties that create a lot of tension, because the fact that you are a good student doesn't mean anything. It just means that you really sit and try very hard. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that you can be a good student without too much effort, that take it on you on too much tension, create too much tension, too much frustration, that you put it on other places, or that it take down very much the self-esteem, even that you have 10s all the time. Because if for reaching 10, you have to study every day until 10, 11 o'clock at night, and the other kids do the same, okay, until 6, 7 o'clock. You are very frustrated as a kid because you have no childhood. So I'm very happy for every person that decide to help kids and to help adults, because the adults today have been kids before, and they have the same issues. They just take them with them, okay, to the adults. So we have a lot to do, and as many people that are gonna try to do it really serious is best. So if I will be able today to even improve a bit with my ideas and my experience, so I will be very happy. What I'm going to talk about today, I understand that we have 3 meetings today, right? Today I'm going to try to show a different angle that people most of the time don't really take this angle. Because when we are talking about the ability to study, the ability to learn, we are talking mostly about the brain and about the cognitive. And people forget that you can understand only to the certain way, depend on the inputs. And everything that we can understand depend on the inputs. Now, the inputs are physical. All the inputs are physical. Okay? Even the most academic things, okay, come in through the physical issues, the senses and the motor skills. Those are the basis of anything that we hear, that we understand, that we can use. There is nothing that you can understand today that it is not built on neural networks that you develop through your body. Nothing. Even if we take mathematics, okay, people think that mathematics is a very cognitive issue. It's right. But without the right body awareness, it's extremely hard to understand mathematics. I will explain it today, okay? Or reading, comprehension, focus, okay? You are reading something and you do not understand as a kid, as me, okay? I could read the same paper 100 times. After the second sentence, I forgot what is in the first sentence. And it happened sentence by sentence. So I never could read. I began to read in the age of 26. After I begin to study martial arts. I find out that, you know, in martial arts, there is something very objective. This one is extremely objective. When he hits you, you fall down. More objective than that, you cannot have. Black and white, or you stand or you fall down. So if you are with good senses, but you sense that you don't see the opponent very clear, something is wrong there, okay? I understood that something in my eyes' ability to move fast enough is not correct. And I begin to train my eyes. After a year of training my eyes, okay, a friend of mine gave me a book and said, read it. I think that you're gonna love it. So I read the book, and 2 weeks later I find out that I read a book. First book in my life. I even didn't pay attention because after a year of training my eyes for martial arts, my brain take it as normal to read. Something that before I couldn't at all. You know, I've been in an evaluation when I've been 14 and a half, psychological evaluation, and the result says, this is a mild retarded, leave him aside. Don't pay attention to him, it's a waste of time. I know too many like that. too many kids that have real difficulties, okay, physical difficulties. Therefore, they have difficulties to be, they are ADD, they are ADHD, they are dyslexic, they are dysgraphic, they are dyscalculic, but they are not. They have physical issues that create symptoms, that they are ADD symptoms, ADHD symptoms, dyslexic symptoms, and all the others. I take all these bunch of symptoms only as symptoms. And I say that. And please try to remember what I say now, because this is maybe the most important thing that I have to say to anybody that wants to work with education. As long as there are physical issues that can create stimuli, that create frustration and tension, you are not allowed to decide that the kid have ADD, ADHD, or dyslexia. You are not allowed to, because you have no idea what you are checking. You are checking only symptoms without reasons. Symptoms of dyslexia is very easy to describe. Anyone who have hard difficulties, okay, with reading, he has dyslexic symptoms. Anyone that begins, okay, to sit and to read, and he begins to move his legs and he cannot sit, okay, very easy, ADHD symptoms. You don't need more than that. You see them, okay? You see a kid that everything that somebody tells to him, okay, immediately get angry, okay? Behavioral difficulties. He cannot manage his impulses. Of course, but this is a symptom. What is the reason for that? Why immediately to begin to give the medicines? Just because we don't really want to check deep the body? Or we don't know how to do that? So before anyone, okay, decide ADD, ADHD, or dyslexia, please, we have to learn to check the body, and this is very simple. Very simple. Is there anyone here that doesn't know what is it, the Lamborghini car? Everybody knows, right? Mm-hmm. Nice dream. My dream too. Huh?
Did you bring one for all of us?
Yeah, maybe. Buy enough books. Then we're gonna see. Now, if you take the Lamborghini car, this is the most beautiful and most fast racing car that exists. Okay, and we take the air from the wheels. Okay, can you try to convince this beautiful new Lamborghini that it's still a Lamborghini? Yes, but without air in the wheels, right? But now try to ride it without air in the wheels. What's going to happen? First of all, the tires, okay, is going to burn, right? After that, it's going to begin to jump all the time. And it's going to take all the equilibrium of the car. And this car, because it's so high level, have to be really well balanced. And after a month of trying to ride it without in the wheels, you're gonna find out that it is not so fun to ride this Lamborghini. And after 1 year of trying to ride it like that, you're gonna find out that the car even doesn't move. What happened after 6 years like that? After 12 years like that? After 18 years like that? You see, the gross motor, the fine motor, the eye motor, and the senses are the air in the wheel of the Lamborghini that we have here. And everyone have a Lamborghini here. Everyone. I didn't find ever a stupid kid, ever. I find retarded. Okay? But this is a different division. I'm not working with retarded. But most of the kids that been evaluated with a very low IQ, they never been with a very low IQ. I am a person with 86 IQ. If you know what does it mean. Anyone here know what does it mean, 86 IQ? Can you explain that?
Sure, that's in the normal range, but it's close to low.
Retarded. Mild retarded, okay? That's
Mild,
evaluated.
well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Okay. But I evaluate myself again when I've been 32, because I needed to get rid from this 86. It's been sitting on my shoulders, very heavy. And I find out that I've been far, far away from the 86. and everybody can change. Depend on how easy you make studying people happen. And how easy, it's depend on the inputs. It's not depend on the material at all. Let's say that you have to read a lot of material for the university to do a lot of work. But let's say, okay, that you don't work with the computer, but when you have to write, your fingers, after half a page, they are already tired. Because you are putting too much pressure, or you are holding it totally incorrect. And after one page, okay, you are really, really, really angry with your hand because it's very tired, not only the fingers, it begins to be tired into the shoulder. And after 2 pages that you are writing, that it takes you instead of 5 minutes, it takes you 20 minutes, you are very frustrated and you begin to hate the project, even that you like the subject. And this is hard. It makes hard life with no reason. Just a bad education, that's all. Because that problem have to be solved in the kindergarten and the first and the second grade with the right program, the right training. It's easy. It's simple, not easy. It's easy. It's simple. Everything that I'm gonna say today easy, I mean to simple, okay? It's very simple to see what to have to be done. The exercises are very simple, okay? But it is not easy because it goes through the frustration. And everybody knows that when we go through the frustration, everybody react differently. One react nicely, one react not so nicely. And one became very aggressive, an impossible person. You know that the researchers that people do in the jails that shows that nearly 80% of the people that are sitting in the jails because of aggressivity things that they did, okay, that they became bad people, okay, they fail from the schools, and most of them with ADD and ADHD symptoms, or dyslexic symptoms. We have to know that because those things can be eliminated. And I'm talking about eliminated. Me and my students in Israel, I have more than 3,000 practitioners working in that method. We work with more than 15,000 kids. And we are working around 70 to 80% of succeed eliminating the issues. So it's possible. Most of the kids that we took with medicines, okay, they are out of medicines. This is possible. I don't say that it is easy. It's simple, not easy, but possible. So what do we have to know? First of all, we have to know that the cognitive is the last thing that we have to check. Not the first, not the second, and not the fifth. The last one. Why? Because, let's say, is anybody here in this room knows that sounds bothers him? That bothers him to focus, to concentrate? Anyone?
Quiet when I study.
Huh?
I can't study when it's not quiet.
When it's not quiet. And if you've been reading now or trying to listen to me, and somebody was doing what I'm doing now, how much you could be calm? Keep.
I think I have to focus, but I would
Okay, what
prefer
is the
not to
price?
happen.
What is the price?
I probably wouldn't take as much information.
Did you pay attention that your shoulders already get tense much more than before I began to do that? No, okay, she's so used to that she doesn't pay attention, but I've been looking. And the right shoulder immediately, okay, when I begin to do that, you get tense. Okay, I stop now. I pay attention how it affects you when I stop. This is something that maybe you heard what I've been doing here, but not everyone can hear it, okay? Most of people even don't pay attention. But people with sensitivity in the ears.
You know, it's funny because as you're talking, I hear this. Do you guys hear
The
that?
air, I was like that the whole time.
And it really is bothering me. Yeah, that bothers me.
She's not the only one here. What's your name? please? Amanda is not the only one here that have ear problems, okay? It can be seen that there are more people here with ear problems. And this thing is something that we can go through that. But the effort that we spend to be able to stay focused, it's much more, okay, than what we have to. And from one level up, okay, is too much. What determines how much is too much? The level of the sensitivity, not the level of the noise. You have to know that there are kids that I'm working with, that the neon sound, most of people don't know that the neon makes sounds, okay, these lamps. The neon sounds cannot let them be in the class because it makes them shake all over the body. And if somebody's whisper, they get confused totally. Okay, and somebody's scratching his pants, he just get out from focus. And the sounds of the cars and the sound of the kids in other classes, and it's crazy. Now this is easy to modulate, but we have to know that it's possible and that we have to search for them. Okay? Let's say the eyes are sensitive to light. Is anyone here sensitive to light? What? Okay. What does it mean?
I don't know. I just get headaches when it's like,
How are you with the white light?
I don't know.
You don't really like it, okay? If we take the white light from here, okay, because this is the problem for all the kids that have a sensitivity to light in the eyes, and you have to know that around 5 to 7% of the kids in any class have sensitivity to that white light. But it's the cheapest one, so everybody uses it. Only because it's the cheapest one, not because it's everybody knows that nobody likes this light. Okay? But the sensitive people, okay, have a problem with that. If you are not sensitive, you don't have a problem. So if I have to change it to the regular yellow light, okay, more calm. From 1 to 10, okay, how much effort less you're gonna do to stay this hour and a half in the class?
How much less?
Yeah, from 1 to 10. 10 is the maximum, 1 is the 3. Which means 30% more energy that you are spending just to try to be here because of the light? You understand what we have to look at that nobody see? Now, people that are sensitive to light, they are sensitive not only to light. Sometimes, can I take it for a second? The white paper with the black ink, okay, is too much contrast and it hurts the eyes. Nobody pay attention to that. We have to pay attention to the technical part of the inputs. After that, to see if we facilitate to the kids, okay, the right environment to allow them with their particular body to study. It's easy to say, oh, you have to grow up, you have to get used to that. Everybody have to get used to that. That's wrong. Why? If the kid have weak personality, it's okay. But if the kid have strong personality, he become a problematic person. And we find out in the jails the most strong personalities that we didn't give them the right environment. Because we did mistakes. We make them very aggressive, not the families. Or let's say not only the families. We have to give the right environment to allow them to be able to be students. Nobody think about it. They're so tiny and so nearly unimportant. But this is the most important thing. Is anyone here knows if he's very sensitive to smells? What's your name, please?
Lorelli.
Lorelli?
Yes. I'm a visitor, but
What? Thank you. What do you mean by
I
very
get
sensitive?
nauseous. I can't think, headaches. I'm really not good.
And if in this room was some smell that create this kind of stimuli, could you be here and study?
Mm-mm.
What happened? What would happen?
I would have to get up and leave.
And now, you've been a child in the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times you met this situation in the school that in the class somebody brings something or smell in a way that you couldn't stay there?
Even as a teacher, I would have to clean and get rid of the smell and figure it out.
Okay, but as a teacher, you're an adult, you have a choice.
Right, but
As
as
a
a
kid, you
child,
got
you
a
don't have a
choice?
choice.
So how you dealt with it?
You zone out. You
zone
zone
out.
out, go to the bathroom,
And
escape.
then how we call these kids that zone out?
They do not. Really
We call them many things.
Right.
Many things, many ways, and all of them are a mistake. Because nobody asked them, why you so now? We have to learn to ask the kids. You have no idea how smart they are and how exactly they know how to describe why they cannot study. They are extremely smart. Please believe in the kids and ask them. They will lead you to the answer. Okay? If a kid have concentration issues, first of all is the senses. We have to check what and how. Just ask. Lead the kid to understand your questions, because sometimes we are talking in a way that we are sure that the kid will understand, and they have no idea. They say yes, 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 no, 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 and they don't understand what you say. So you have to make sure that they understand. You know how many kids I ask them if they have any problem with the ears, okay, and they just don't understand what I mean. No, I have no any inflammation. But they don't understand what I mean. It takes time. You have to know exactly what you want to ask. Okay? What happened to the kid that have ears issues, okay, and have smell issues, and he's coming to the class after the gym, and everybody is with the sweat. And this is, let's say, the first hour of the day. They've been in the gym. And you have to be all day long with the smells of the sweat of other kids. But he doesn't think about the smell of the sweat. He thinks about the nauseous and the one that he wants to vomit all the time. But he's a good guy. He's a good kid. And he wants to be a good student. So he forces himself to stay in the class. But all day long, he's forcing himself to stay normal because of the nausea, because of the headaches, because of he wants to vomit all the time. He cannot listen to the teacher because this is not survival. He is fighting with survival. And this is something that we have to pay attention. If we want to understand why a kid cannot learn. To put him in front of a computer and to do a test to see if he can focus with Ritalin or without Ritalin, if we check all the body and everything is okay, this test is very important. To do the neuropsychological tests, okay, after all the body being checked and everything being corrected, is extremely important. If the kids still have issues. From what I find out, 80% at least after this issue, after this correction, just doesn't have any issues. He's not dyslexic anymore, he's not ADD anymore, he's not ADHD anymore. Because the symptoms disappear when we modulate the body. Do you understand that? Now, can you raise your hands? How many of you read the chapters that you needed to read? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's interesting because this is more than the books that have been sold. Now, do you have any questions about what you read? You needed to read about the reasons for learning difficulties, different learning difficulties, and the justice story. Do you find anything from the justice story, okay, that it is connected to what we are talking about?
Actually, I had a question about
Yes.
when I was reading the Justin story about like the sense of touch and how like I really didn't understand what you were doing with him. Like he was telling about it, like how
I
like,
cure
how
it
when-
or how I test it?
like how you test, how he said that he could feel you when you were.
Okay.
I really didn't understand what that
Is-
was about. Like,
Great, just a minute. We're gonna answer that, we're gonna go to other questions, okay? Is anybody here knows that when you've been touched very light, okay, you just cannot stand it? Yes? Can you come here? I would like to show how I check it.
Okay.
Thank you. What's your name?
Allison?
Callison?
Yes.
Callison. Okay. Can just she knows that I'm going to touch her. So
I don't
look,
like being
look how defensive she is all the time. This is a normal physical standing of a person with hypersensitivity in the skin. People like that, they are all the time concerned that maybe somebody is going to touch us, all the time. So they are living with that. So if she is concentrated here, okay, she is concentrated after she spent all the energy that need to be spent on that issue. Only after that she can listen. So she is listening through a wall of a lot of energy that she has to spend blocking the presence of all of us inside her body. I will explain what I say now. Or maybe you want to explain? You know what I'm talking about? The presence of other people
Yeah.
inside your body?
I
Can you
feel
explain
like
that?
even like, how do I explain? But, like sometimes when I'm like sitting and I have people behind me, like I feel like they're gonna touch me, so I just like kind of punch to myself sometimes. I don't know.
Okay, question. If you sit there and in the other side of the room, somebody is really angry or frustrated, how it affects you? Does it affect you?
Sometimes, I guess if they're verbal.
They're verbal.
Yeah.
So through your ears.
Yeah.
Can you avoid to know that somebody is angry or very sad or very emotional somehow, even that it tries to block it? Can you avoid from knowing that? No. So what you do with that knowledge?
I feel like I sit there and think about like what's wrong with them and like why they're upset or.
Now I'm the teacher and I'm trying to teach her mathematics. Okay, but she's thinking, why the hell this person is angry? And in the end, I believe as a teacher that she does not understand mathematics. But I didn't taught her mathematics. She didn't been in the class at all. She sit, that's all. She didn't be here. You understand? Now, it's not something that I tell her to say, okay? That's the way that she is living. This is the way that her existence exists. This is very difficult. How are you in crowded places?
I don't like crowded places.
Okay, but how are you there?
I kind of just try and stay as far as I can from people and to myself.
And if you have to be in an elevator with full of people, how do you feel? Can you breathe?
No.
How much pressure in your chest you feel?
A lot. Like my heart, I think, is faster too.
Did it answer you? I'm gonna show it now, okay? Because if you read this story, you know that I did the test, okay? That I came closer to him, okay? And he felt that he cannot breathe because of it. Look how it looks like, okay? Can you stand there? No, go back, go. Now try to avoid them now, okay?
Okay.
Is it enough? Okay, I'm going to come closer, okay, slowly. You tell me when you begin to feel the pressure in your chest, okay?
Maybe up there.
Now, do you understand what does it mean? Who understand what does it mean? Please try. You can make mistakes, yes.
It could be, maybe she feels like that because it, like survival instinct, you know, you could be an attacker going to her.
No, but she feels me an attacker anyhow, even though I'm the nicest person on earth. Doesn't matter. She will feel me, okay, as something that penetrates her without rights. But what does it mean? Yes.
Well, I was also going to say that although you're still far away from her, it's the anticipation that you're going to get closer to her, so it makes her more nervous because she knows when you're coming.
That's the technical point, okay? The same. That's the technical from other angle. But what does it mean from the physical point of view? Yes.
It's just a higher level of sensitivity.
Yeah, that's no doubt about it. Look where she holds me, okay? Very sensitive. Okay, but what does it mean? Because it means something. I'm gonna tell you what, because you will never think about it. Her body and here. And everything that it is here, for her, is inside her body. Am I right or am I wrong? Okay. Can you come closer? Do you understand the meaning of that? Now, she is hypersensitive in any meaning, and she's sitting there. We are, okay, all this until Until here, okay, this line no, but this line, until then, all of us, okay, including me because I'm standing in the center, are all the time inside her body. All the time influencing her sensitivities and her senses, but most of all, her emotions as a result. Now, listen to that question because this is the most important maybe that people don't understand it. Let's say that you sleep very good at night, something that don't happen too much, right? Hypersensitive people cannot sleep at night very well because they cannot disconnect from the senses even when they are sleeping. So they are sensing all the time too much. Okay? Let's say that you really slept very good this night and you wake up in the morning and you say, today I'm gonna have a great day in the school. Okay? Let's say that you are 8 years old, 12 years old. And you come to the school really, really good. How long it takes you from the minute that you penetrate the area of the school until your mood change?
Probably not too much. So even sometimes I feel like I'll wake up, I didn't sleep whatever, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a good day, and something hits me right.
What is this something?
Could be anything, like someone like walking too slow in front of me, someone, I don't know, being
Do you understand that? You have to know that we have minimum of 10% of the population with hypersensitivity in the skin. Minimum. I never check any population with less than 10% of hypersensitivity in the skin, and if I'm gonna check here, we're gonna have 10% minimum. It's easy even to see. Okay? Now, look how I check it. Can I check it? Can you take the sleeves up? See, sleeves that don't really move. This is on purpose. You have to know. Up.
all the way up.
No. Not taking chances. Okay? No chances. I take this down because otherwise it's impossible to look. Otherwise it's impossible to check the sensitivities. If something press, okay, it creates a sensation of pressure and then the light touch is disappearing. That's the reason that people have it, okay. Now, I'm gonna touch very light, okay? Don't do anything. Just describe for us what you feel.
I don't know, like chills kind of.
Chills, okay.
Yeah.
Does it go to any other part of your body?
Yeah.
Only there or other parts of your
Oh,
body?
I just gives me a chill all over the
All over the body?
Yeah.
No. Don't do anything with that either. Yeah? Now tell me, it's still there. Let's wait and see until when. You understand what I check?
Yeah.
First of all, now I'm checking the skin. It's still there. Is it stronger or less?
Strong.
That's the hardest case. You see? Sometimes it just goes slow and slow down until it disappears. But sometimes it goes more and more and more until she clean it. Okay, clean it and show us what you have to do to clean it until it disappears. Yeah, do whatever you want. No, do whatever you need to do to clean it totally. No, that not. Clean it. It's nearly impossible, right?
Yeah.
It's still there, right? You have to go to wash it?
No.
Okay. Take it out. Take the sleeve. Now you have to understand that this looks like witchery work, okay? But this is real. This is real. Nobody really paid attention. Yesterday, thank you very much. You saw what I did? Nearly touched, but no, sorry. I'm used to touching, okay? But not that people, because they hate it. And even if they don't hate it, they've really been bothered by it. Yesterday, I evaluated an 8-year-old, beautiful kid, with a mother that she have a master in psychology, but she have a chain of clothing for girls, because she said, no, I cannot be a psychologist. And I saw from her sitting, okay, she's been sitting like that all the time, that she is hypersensitive, no doubt, okay? Now, what is the main problem with hypersensitivity? She have hearing hypersensitivity to sounds and skin hypersensitivity, something like you. Okay, that level, that it is a high level. This is not a low level, not medium. It's high level. Okay. The main problem, okay, it took me more than 3/4 of an hour just to calm her down. Why? Because as a kid, she couldn't stand her life because she'd been overwhelmed all the time. She don't understand. She looked here and she said, how these guys are living like that? Right? Because the hypersensitive people think that everybody is hypersensitive and they don't understand. Hugging, touching, kissing, they don't understand it. It's an approach that for them it's totally strange, okay? They cannot understand it. And they see us, okay, and they say, why they can and I can't? Of course something is wrong with me. Of course something is wrong with you. But not here, it's neurological, it's here, okay, because it's neurological, but it's not your character, it's not your nature. It's something wrong that have to be modulated. The problem is that the techniques that the OT apply nearly never end the problem. Okay, they reduce it, and after that, in the puberty, it just grow up because of the hormones very high again. So we have to know what to do with that. And I developed a very good tool for that it just make it disappear. Modulate the brain in the way that never again touch gonna bother you. But you have to do the tools that I show in the book, okay, the gray meditation. It just modulates all the senses because it works, and I'm gonna talk about it in the third meeting. So about the senses, we understand that we have to check it differently. We have to really try to understand what's wrong and not just to say he cannot read, he cannot focus, he cannot see, he's a bad guy. He's aggressive, of course aggressive. Why? To say that the kid is aggressive without why he is aggressive is nearly stupid. Nearly stupid. Because aggressive nearly never is a personality. It's a result of too much frustration. Too much anger that comes from the frustration. And we have to try to see why. Now I'm going to show you a little bit the evaluation of a kid, 14 years old. It's not 3, it's not 5. Okay, I'm working from 5 years and up. But it doesn't matter because if it's in your age, 14 of age, 5 of age, or 90 of age is the same. Okay, from the neurological point of view, it's just the same. So let's see how this guy been in the evaluation.
You just have to wake up. You want the lights off now?
Huh?
You want the lights off?
Yes. Thank you. Is to put one leg in front. This is the gross motor test. Okay, you put the right leg in front. So put the left hand in front. Left hand in front. And right hand behind. Now you are in a cross position, right? Left hand with right leg and right hand with left leg. Right? So the opposite. I would like you to do one jump on the spot. And in this jump, okay, in the same time, you switch the position of the hands and the legs at once. So in the end of the jump, okay, the hand and the leg that they are behind are going to end in front. Please, one jump. And look. Look. You have to be with the opposite, right? Okay, it's okay, it's okay. You are going to get confused many times today. Take it easy, okay? Don't put any weight on that. Now, but organize your body, okay? Keep the legs like that. Now, I want you to know what we are seeing now. The basis of the cross ability of the gross motor is the basis of the neural network that connect the right and the left hemisphere. This is the base for the spatial ability, the spatial awareness, and the management of the emotional impulses. You cannot manage emotional impulses if you do not have the right coordination, physical coordination. And when you succeed to do that, even if you've been 10, 20 years the most aggressive person, because you cannot stop it, and everybody believes that you are extremely impulsive, okay? 3 weeks and you stop being impulsive. Is to put one leg in front in a small step. Okay, you put the right leg in front, so put the left hand in front, left hand in front, and right hand behind. Now you are in a cross position, right? Left hand with right leg, and right hand with left leg, right? So the opposite. I would like you to do one jump on the spot, and in this jump, okay, in the same time, you switch the position of the hands and the legs at once. So in the end of the jump, okay, the hand and the leg that they are behind are going to end in front. Please, one jump. And look. Cross position is always left with right together in front. Okay, it's okay. You are going to get confused many times today. Take it easy, okay? Don't put any weight on that. Now, but organize your body, okay? Keep the legs like that, but switch the hands. Okay, don't bend the hand, okay? Stretch them, like that. Okay, now try to do it again. Yeah, focus and try. Probably you are not going to succeed with it, but it's okay. Yeah, good, but switch the hands now. Okay, now try to do it at once. No, switch the hands. Now try to do it at once. Okay, again, try, it's okay. You don't have to succeed. Here in this room, you don't have to succeed in anything. You understand the picture? But no, organize, left with right. Now, after we understand the picture, okay, this is 2 months later. From the jumps from 1 to 4, okay, with no stops, okay? Go. Can you breathe louder? Look at the hands and the legs change all the time now, okay? Very nice, very nice. Can you tell me what you've been doing yesterday evening? Now the integration with the condition during the motor skills. Doing what? Yeah, but doing what?
Playing video games.
What video games you been playing?
Modern Warfare 2.
You like this game?
Yeah.
Check yourself. Yeah. 2 months later, huh? It's not so difficult to change it. It's not so difficult. We just have to know what we are looking. What we are looking at. Now look at that. Now before I'm going to show that, I would like to explain what is the importance of that. You see, to read, we have a line. Look at me, please. We have a line with letters, right? Letters that form a word, letters, word. Now, to be able to read it, we need both eyes, okay, to focus inside in the same letter and to move in cross position, even that it is a very tiny cross position, but from the letter point of view, okay, the angle has to be inward, right? Otherwise, both eyes do not see the same letter. You understand? That? You understand? If somebody does not understand, please look.
Turn on the light, please.
Yeah.
We have letters. Okay, we have 2 eyes. Reading. Now, here we have the visual cortex in the brain, and it's connected, okay, schematically like that, but much more complicated, okay? Now, to be able to read, both eyes have to be focused in the same letter, move them, okay, together, like that, from letter to letter to build a word, right? So this is always inward angle with both eyes. To be able to do that, we need to be able to cross eyes, because this is what do that. That we call focus. The third dimension, the depth, okay, depend on that ability. We don't have that, we're gonna see kids that mess up, that have no organizational skills, that tackle all the time around, okay, that have a very disorganized body. And difficulty in reading. Difficulty in reading, okay? So, I check always the ability, can you close the light please? The ability to cross eyes, and look what's going on here.
Can you cross eyes? Try to cross eyes. And look at the nose, okay? As much as you
You have to look here.
can. You
see?
breathe when you do that?
Very hard for both eyes,
Breathe.
not only one.
All right, stop. Now put the finger here. Okay, and try to look at the touching point of the finger to the nose.
Look,
Yes, try to see with both eyes the nail.
look here, okay? Very hard.
Breathe.
You go inside the wall, it's escape. Which means that the inside muscle is very weak. It's a stupid muscle. But it makes this life, okay, miserable. Now look at that. 2 months later.
Can you cross eyes? 1, 2, 3,
It still moves a little bit.
5.
Just in the fifth, okay? Yeah, the eyes move a little bit
Put the
outside.
finger here and cross eyes to the touching point.
Look how beautiful he's doing that. He's still shaking a little bit, okay? You
Four.
see, it's a little bit shaking.
5.
But look, beautiful can do that, right? So now, let's hear this guy. What do you have to say about I think it's this one.
Now, Michael, tell me. We are working how long?
Like 2 months, 3 months.
2 months. We are working since, let's say,
I
exactly.
didn't organize it, okay? So it's rare, okay? It's raw. Has it been there? So I'm sorry that there are gaps and things like that, but immediately you're gonna hear what you have to say.
2 months. Okay, now tell me, in these 2 months, what do you feel are the improvements that you got from that program?
Like how?
Like in your ability in
You
school.
can see that his
to be
eyes are
focused,
straight,
to
okay?
be
When he came to me, one eye
better
was a little bit
reader,
sad.
writer, to be able to stop doing jokes all the time with the kids in the class and bothering them, to have a better self-confidence, in any aspect that you can mention.
Like how did this help me?
Yeah.
Like it improved like my brain so I could like focus better.
How do you feel that you can focus better? When you say it improves your brain, what does it mean?
Like before, my brain was like tangled up, I guess. And by doing this, it untangled it, and then by untangling it, it helped me in school and my work.
Okay, let's ask you a specific question. First of all, do you feel that you improve in reading?
Yeah.
How?
Before we started doing this, I really didn't read that much at all. But like, ever since we started this, I read a book in like a week. Yep.
What do you feel that it is the main difference? Why before you couldn't and now you can?
Like, when I started reading books back then, like, it was harder for me because like I wanted to like the book, but I was just hard. It was bad. Like it was difficult for me to read, but now like I can enjoy the book and I can understand it easier. More easily.
You feel that the reading it's easier.
Yeah.
How is your handwriting?
Well, it hasn't improved that much, but it's getting a little bit better.
A little bit better. Do you feel that it is easier to write from the technical point of view?
Yeah.
Yes. How is it in your organization skills? Are you more organized?
Yeah. For like school, like I separate everything now from my different classes and stuff.
You can organize yourself better. And in the beginning, one of the reasons for...
Because it can go on. I think that the most important thing about what Michael says is that the change is possible. And it works. It works every day. He's practicing 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the night. That's all what I ask kids to practice, not more. And adults, there is no need for more practice. The brain, if you give him a massage, of practice all the time, he just advances and advances and advances and advances. It's easy to understand what we have to do. But we have to check it from the physical point of view. Do you have a question? Yes.
What were the exercises that were needed to help correct the eye movement? How did you go about you just practice moving his eye?
The answer is divided into two things. First of all, everyone that bought the book, in the book you have animations of all the exercises with the explanation what's first, second, third, how to build a training program. Therefore I did this ebook, because I believe that the knowledge has to be, because if you're going to be teachers, you have to know that better than everyone. And one day you're going to be mothers, and you need it too.
And fathers.
And fathers. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm so used to talk all the time to women, because most of the time there are no men in education areas. So it's very, very good that you are. We need more, much more. Basically, whatever I find in the evaluation that you cannot, vertical, horizontal, vertical, circular, cross-eyes, or diagonals, that's what I'm training. But sometimes we have to break down, the ability to train, because the person cannot do anything. And we have to build his ability, his muscles, Like if you want to run a marathon, you cannot begin to run 10 miles a day. You just can't, You begin with 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, you get stronger slowly, So with the eyes or with the fingers, the same. We have to build the potential slowly, step by step, but it's not so slowly. It's not so slow. In most of the cases, between 3 to 5 months, it's finished. There is no need more than that. Therefore, I say that this is the work of teachers. The age of 5, the age of 6, the age of 7. If teachers apply these exercises in schools, there are gonna be nearly no learning difficulties. The aggressivity in the schools is going to reduce big time, and the kids are going to be able to learn easier. Then we're gonna be able to see all the cognitive problems. If somebody is really with low potential, you're gonna be with hard time, but you're gonna have no hard time to read. Maybe he cannot understand other things, but to do the reading, the writing, the mathematics, he will be able to do all the technical point of that. And that, I think it's a must. Yes. Yes.
I have a question, Michael. That was 2 months later.
Yes.
How much longer did his treatment go on?
Next week I finish the treatment. You have to know that most of the kids come to me once a month. They don't come to me once a week or twice a week. Most of the kids once a month, and they have the training program and they work at home with the parents with the same results.
Do you train the parents to help the kids do the exercises?
First of all, I never work with kids without the parents in the room. I don't believe in that. I think that it is the wrong way. Because kids are never the main part of their problem. Never. Ever. The kid will never be more than 50% of his problem. 50% are the parents, at least. And we have to teach them to change the tone of voice, to stop being skepticism all the time, to stop being with no any belief on the kid. Okay, there are many things that we have to teach them, to learn, to teach them how to take responsibility, to teach them how to put the right boundaries, because many parents have no idea what does it mean to put boundaries, and how to keep the boundaries, or how not to put boundaries when there is no any need. Because this is the most dangerous for educating a kid, to put the boundaries in the wrong place. Yes.
Can I share the time that we went out to eat? Moshe, my husband, and I, and Jordan went out to eat dinner. And Jordan is very curious and he's very social. And so he stood up and he went out. And both David and I were like, okay, what is he doing? What is he? And Moshe was like, what's the problem? He's just socializing. And he was so calm about him being out. And we were tense like this. We were placing these boundaries when they didn't need to happen. He wasn't bothering anyone. He was socializing. He was having a good time. And other people were enjoying him. So I learned a lot about how I just place these boundaries, because he's so energetic and I want to make sure that and so I hedge him in when I don't have to. That's who he is. And so I learned, I certainly learned that.
It was a Indian restaurant with a buffet.
Yes.
Okay, with a buffet. And this wonderful kid, okay, Jordan, he just wanted to, first of all, he wanted to see and to taste every one of the things, okay, by himself. He didn't want us to be near him. Not his parents, not me. From time to time he called me, okay, and he just needed to bring something. But he became friend of the waiters in 2 minutes. Okay, they've been talking to him, showing him, taking him, bringing him back. Why not? Why not? And another example. Parents, that the mother, she been educated in a very, very strict way. Okay, everything is no. And the father, okay, he is a control freak, but he is too weak for the mother. That's interesting, that if you are control freak, but you cannot control your wife because everything, she's stronger than you in any field, and she say no all the time. A big fight for the kids. Now, a kid came to me, he'd been in the second grade, the beginning of the second grade, in a small classroom. He'd been evaluated as a mild retarded too, with very severe learning disabilities, with communication skills, really communicational problems. And when he came to me, he'd been so afraid to take any responsibility even about what he was saying, about everything, okay? He was just like that. A kid, a frightened kid that couldn't do anything. His body was totally tense and his brain was not functioning because he's been afraid, okay? From one side, the father all the time, rules, stop, and the mother, stop it, don't do that, do that, all the time, all day. So they came to me, all the family, with the youngest daughter too, and I worked with them 6 months, I think, okay, once a month. They came to me, all the family, and I give a task to the parents. The first task, okay, was not to talk at all when the other one is talking. They called me, I think, 100 times, okay, just to tell me that the other one is not listening and they are fighting all the time. So in this month, okay, until I told them to listen, I think they've been 8 times this month, okay, but only this month. It took me 8 meetings just to make them listen. People think that if they say it and they are talking, it's okay. Okay, I want to say it, and people don't respect. Specifically when people are tense, they don't respect anybody. Now, if the parents do not respect each other, the kids cannot respect anything. If the parents are aggressive, okay, aggressive when they are even talking, okay, the kid learn that to be aggressive is part of to be part of the family. Now, the father or the mother can be aggressive with the voice. It doesn't mean that the kid is going to choose to be aggressive with the voice. Because aggressivity is okay in this family. If I want to be part of the family, I have to be aggressive, even that I hate it. Otherwise, I'm not part of the family. Many take the other side, okay? But many take that side. I think that the hardest thing for me with this mother was to make her shut up for 2 seconds. Everything that the kid been doing, or I did, or the husband did, or the daughter did, she got what to say. She couldn't let any space to anyone. Now, this kid was frightened for life, okay, because of this family. When the family calmed down, the kid began to flourish. Mm-hmm. During this time, okay, correct the coordination, the senses, everything, but he's still been afraid. Only when the parents change, it begins to change. So when you have a kid in the class, okay, that have concentration issues, it can come from the senses, it can come from the motor skills, it can come from the environment in the class, and it can come from the family. We don't know. It can come from sicknesses. It can come from food, okay? It can come because he is not balanced in his body. Too much sugar and things like that. It can be from many different reasons. It can be that they have parasites in the belly. You know how many kids that are ADHD, the only problem is parasites? Because parasite can create from very deep depression to hyperactivity. All the range. So we have to know that there are other things that we have to look before we give medicines. In the end, if nothing helps, medicine is the right thing, but never in the beginning. Yes.
In your book, which I am going to purchase, do you describe the different where to go to get these evaluations for the children to make sure that it's not, we don't go straight to the medicines, like everything that you're doing or checking for nutrition, things of that sort? Do you break it down in the book?
This is the first edition. I get it yesterday evening. I just approved it yesterday.
Okay.
Here there is a chapter, okay, that taught the parents how to evaluate, and how to build a training program. Is here. Okay. Because I believe that the knowledge have to be first of all in the parents' house, and after that in educators. All right. So if somebody wants the paper book, okay, can buy it. I hope from a few days from now in Amazon.com, and but I prefer always the ebook because of the animations. I did the ebook because of the animations. I believe that it is more important to see the exercises, how they have to be done.
I just found it completely interesting, that child, because I could never do that exercise. I mean, right now, without any kind of training, and I've always had reading difficulties, the cross eyes. I had to work very hard to get. I have 2 master's degrees, but I have to work very hard to get where I want to be.
The price to pay is very high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. People can do that. People can do that. Okay, if you take Holloway, okay, Dr. Holloway, he made a full career from these issues.
Yeah.
And a very good one. Very good one. Okay, there are many like that. You're gonna see all the people that invent ways to help other people. Most of the time, we've been all the time inventing ways to help ourselves. Okay,
Exactly.
and therefore we help other people too. But
Right.
first of all, is our problem that we have to help, to change. To I don't know what.
That's great.
Yes, somebody else. Yes.
How did you, well, I don't even know if this was an issue with what you were testing or helping the child with the family, the parents that were aggressive. how did you go about helping the child to not internalize? Because I know a lot of people take on things that aren't theirs, and like with the anger thing, like they'll take it on, or even just from the household if the parents are like the environment. How do you help block that or teach, like retrain your minds to not internalize that and not make that the focal point of their energy rather than like doing work or something?
That's the hardest part of the work. That's the hardest part of the job. You see, first of all, we have to understand the main difference between a moment of education and a period of education. Most of people live in a moment of education and they want to change, okay, in a moment. Specifically parents, okay? But education is from 0 to 21. It's not any particular day in the way. It's a period. And it's all the time change, constant change. Now the parent have to change constantly too. How you do that? It's complicated because every family have different issues. Every one of us always is influenced extremely deep by our parents. And if we didn't get parents, okay, we are more influenced. So there is no way, okay, because nobody teach parents how to be a couple, how to be friends, and after that how to be parents. Nobody give license, okay, to be married. Nobody give license that you are allowed to make babies. Nobody check if the people really are ready. So we are all the time dealing with consequences. Okay? We are dealing with results of really very bad education as a society, and I'm talking about the globe, not about America or other places. The globe as a society, humans as a society. There is no education. The main problem is to be good parents. And to be good parents always beginning to be a good couple. And to be a good couple always begin with respect. Not in love, in respect. And that's nobody really teaching. Therefore, we are all the time dealing with consequences. We're trying to close the fire, you know? But the fire is there all the time.
Can I share something along with that also? You know, it's so intense what he's saying, because when we came to Moshe, Jordan was very aggressive with me in particular. And he was just testing me all the time. And I'm not sure if I ever shared this with you, but we adopted Jordan when he was 5 months old. And when I first talked to Moshe, he said to me, first thing he said to me was, make sure he knows that you love him and that you'll never leave him. I'm like, yeah, we do that all the time. So, you know, I've been trying to, we always tell him, you know, that he was adopted, we tell him, but he always asks, well, what happened with my birth mom? And when I explained to him, she was very ill, you know, so she couldn't take care of you, right? And this was amazing. Then as Moshe was talking to him, he's writing and he's telling Moshe, because Moshe is asking him questions about this experience, and he's saying, yeah, I'm adopted because my birth mom was very ill and she couldn't take care of me. Then he looks at Moshe and he says, but my mom is sick too, because I'm not well. You know, like my body's not well, so I was in a state of just. So he looked at him, and then he looked at me, almost like for all this time he was living in this space. Okay, when are you gonna give me up, or when are you, you know, just not gonna take care of me anymore? And that was a breakthrough. It was amazing, where he was living in that space of fear that I would, because I was sick, I was going to do the same thing. So it affected him tremendously.
So
but then he turned.
Without you even knowing.
Yes, and he before this he was writing with a black crayon, as Moshe was talking to him, after all of that, he turned the paper over and he drew the best picture
Yeah.
ever.
Because we have to. Kids is living in a family. You see, let's say that we are the great teachers and we are great therapists. Okay, so how much the kids see? 5 hours a day with the teacher, 1 hour a week with the therapist, 2 hours a week. Okay, but he's living with his family 24 hours a day, because even when he's in the school, he's all the time worried here about what's going on at home. And we have to try to help him to calm down. If we cannot help him to calm down in the main issue, doesn't matter how good we are as educators, we are not serving his need. Now, this is very large and big what I said. Now, because you don't have, the rights to talk about many things that I have in my training book. But even so, I believe that knowing these things, can gives you many abilities to lead the family or the kid in the school, and through the school, the family, to a much safer place. And just to know that without the balance in the family, the kid must be disturbed. Okay? Don't blame him. Allow them. Allow them. It's okay to be disturbed if your family is really disturbed.
True.
You don't know any other thing? For you, that's the normal way of behaving. Okay, we're gonna meet the next time.
Thank you.
You have the chapters that you have to read for the next time. We're going to go a little bit deeper into how to see, how to check, how to, and please, I would like you to understand that we are going to do work here together, because I'm going to show on you how to see things, how to evaluate things. Just be prepared and be nice with yourself. This is a present that you give to yourself. This is not a punishment.